Today we're going to be reviewing the first beer from the new Buxton Brewery experimental brand new hop range. This is Godiva, and it's part of the Lupulus X IPA range. Single hop, but what's it going to be like? Check out the review to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we are going to start doing the reviews for the Buxton Brewery's single hop. This is a Godiva hop, which is a hop that I've never had before and never heard of before until I bought these. This is part of the Lupulus X range. It's experimental single hop program. Every beer is the same recipe, only the hop changes. Deliver a distinctive flavour burst. Coming in at 5.4%. All the cans look pretty similar. This one is an AROMA hop with spicy gooseberry and tangerine flavours. So, what's it going to be like? Let's crack open the can, put it in a glass and find out. So, obviously we started this because Buxton Brewery have got the Lupulus X Citra, which are the Citra hop, which is obviously a well-known hop, in Tesco supermarkets at the moment. Really enjoyed it. There's a lot of people out there saying that it's probably one of the best beers in Tesco in the new range. So I thought, well, let's see what they can do with all these other hops. So, beer in a glass, well, it looks pretty nice. It's a nice orangey colour. We've got literally a single finger of white head there. Yeah, pretty compacted. I don't think that's going to last too much. It's a nice hazy orangey colour. Let's see what the aroma's like. Yeah, like the colour. There's definitely a distinct sort of juicy sort of orange, tangerine type of aroma. I'm not picking up anything spicy, and I'm not really picking up gooseberry. I'm getting a lot of citrus, oranges, lemons and limes really. It smells really nice and fresh, and I think it's going to be a nice fruity and refreshing beer. Cheers everyone. Actually, with the flavour, there is a little bit of spiciness there. And there is a sort of a green type of fresh fruit, like a gooseberry. You know, I could say grape, gooseberry, that sort of flavour. But the big underlying flavour really is this sort of orange flavour. It reminds me of certain sort of session IPAs where you sometimes get that sort of orangey flavour. Let's go in again. Yeah, it's that weird spicy peppery sort of flavour that's it's a little off-putting, to be honest. It ruins the sort of freshness really, because you drink it down, you get that obviously the cool liquid coming down your throat, and then you can taste this sort of orange, and there's a slight bitterness in the orange as well. Then you get this sort of peppery sort of spice, almost as if someone's put a bit of black pepper in it. And then you get this sort of a green sort of fruit like a gooseberry in there. It's not bad, but that orange is a little bit too overripe and too bitter. There's too much orange sort of peel in there as well. And that sort of spiciness is a little bit, I think it ruins your overall enjoyment of it. It just, it takes a little away from the refreshment and gives it more of a, for me it has that sort of, much more of a sort of West Coast type of flavour to it. Mouthfeel wise, yeah, we got medium carbonation, sort of light to medium body, sort of medium type of softness, I think. You know, there's a little bit of fizziness that gives that zinginess, but not overpowering. The orange though is quite bittering and also very dry. Yeah, it's not bad, but at the moment, I'm telling you now, it's not as good as the Citra one from supermarkets. But let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for the Buxton Brewery Lupulus X Godiva. A brand new hop. We've never had this before. I don't know if many other people have had it before. Certainly, in terms of the description, it sort of lives up to the name. You know, it's spicy, gooseberry, orange. Definitely got all of those sort of flavours in there. But we start with the aroma. So the big aroma really with this was a sort of, yeah, a big sort of tangerine sort of aroma there. Oranges, orange peel, all the sort of orange sort of aromas that you would expect. Wasn't really picking up any of the spiciness. I wasn't really picking up any of the gooseberry in there as well. Just sort of oranges with a sort of slight citrusy sort of backbone, I suppose. It's not bad. 11 for aroma. Appearance. Well, it's a hazy, orangey sort of beer. The head's pretty much disappeared there. You know, it's not as thick and a strong colour. It's a little bit light and translucent, I think, in terms of the sort of orange. The haze is there, but it's almost a little subtle. I'm giving it a 7 for appearance. Flavour-wise, well, like the aroma, you definitely get a massive hit of oranges. First, you get that real sort of sweet tangerine, but then it sort of goes into a sort of more bitterness. You get more of that sort of real sort of thick, big orange flavour, and you get some of that orange rind. It gives it a little bit of bitterness, and it dries out your throat quite a lot. There's also this sort of spiciness in it. For me, it's like pepper. It's like a pepper spice that just sort of comes in. And to me, with the orange, it doesn't, you know, you want something a little bit more refreshing to wash that away with. But the orange bitterness with the pepper keeps it a little bit bitter. There is elements of that gooseberry, that sort of a green type of fruit, which gives it a bit of freshness, but not quite enough. Doesn't give it that zestiness that you would expect from, you know, more sort of the big citrus flavours like lemons, really. You're not getting a big citrus hit. You're getting very, I mean, I know orange is a citrus fruit, but you're getting orange and sweet orange and then bitter orange and then the rind of an orange. And that's really the flavour there, really. It's quite overly bitter, I think. The orange flavours are just a little bit too overpowering. So in terms of flavour, I'm giving it 30. It's interesting. We're using a different hop. You're getting flavours there. Yes, we've had orangey sort of flavours, and certainly the West Coast, I think, always have a more orange or passion fruit sort of flavour. For me, this orange is a little bit overpowering though, and the peppery spice doesn't really help things. So 30 for flavour. Value for money, well, all of these cans are about £3.60. I think that's not bad. I mean, I know you can buy the Citra version for as little as £2 from Tesco, but for an IPA from a bottle shop, £3.50 is pretty good value. If it was £5, you know, not so great. So I'm giving it a solid 8 out of 10 for value. And then my overall experience, well, for me, it doesn't quite do it. It's very much got the flavour of a West Coast IPA. The body's a little bit softer than that. Not overly. Carbonation is quite low. It's just that orange and the bitterness of orange is a little bit, doesn't do it for me. It's not the sort of flavours that I want. So I'm giving it 11 for overall. It's not something, it dries out your throat really, really, you know, to such a point where you can taste that sort of orange bitterness coat in the back of your throat, and it doesn't go away even when you're not drinking it, and you feel that you want to drink something to wash that away with, and it doesn't quite do it. So that's 11 for overall, and that's a start for this. Quite disappointing, 67. For me, this is a little bit too experimental. I'm going to be interested to know what the others are like, but this one for me, not really a favourite. If you like more your West Coast and you like the orange sort of flavours and that bitter oranges, that sort of blood orange almost, then you probably like that. The spicy pepperness is something I don't want in beer though. You know, it's not something that appeals to me in any sort of shape or form. So not for me, this one. If you see this hop, then, you know, and you in the characteristics I've described, you don't like them, then give it a miss. I don't think this one is, maybe with this one mixed with, say, a Citra to give it more tropical notes, maybe it'd work. That's the thing. I think with single hops, certain single hops really work. For example, Citra on its own, I think really works. I think Simcoe on its own really works. But there's a lot of other hops that need 2 or 3 others to go with it to make it really good. That's the first one, and there's 5 more to come. So until the next one, keep on rocking.